What's up YouTube? This is Bangalore Productions, and in today's video I'm going to be going over a somewhat simple and quick loadout for, let's say we're going out on some kind of patrol, whether that be a screening patrol or reconnaissance, security, whatever that might be. This is some kind of kit meant to let us go out of the fob or PB, whatever it may be, or safe house for 24 to 48 hours, plus, if need be, you can push it depending on what you carry and what you choose. This isn't me saying this is what you should run. You should only be able to run this kit. No, this is me saying that this is what I run for that same scenario. So, start off, the rifle, nothing changes, exact same build as I've been working on. Just in case you're new, 1 to 6 LPVO, top dot, IR laser, and scout light with the cover, and I also have a cover on the front of my LPVO. Pressure switch for the laser, and that's pretty much it. Just a good all-around fighting rifle. So, moving on from that, pack off. We'll go over the helmet setup, the chest rig setup, and then what I keep in my pack, and then lastly what I keep in my pockets. So there's an old saying, I believe from the Royal Marines, and I'm going to say this really wrong, but pretty much this is what it means. You live out of your pack, fight off of your kit, and survive out of your uniform. So a lot of times I see guys saying, well, this is my first, my second, and my third line. My first line is my belt, my second is my chest rig or my plate carrier, and my third line is my pack. And I believe that's right, but in my opinion, your first line isn't your belt. Your first line is the clothes on your body. So your first line should have your bare bones minimum survival equipment on it. Whatever you actually need to survive for, I mean, honestly, indefinitely. You know, having a nice survival kit in your pockets, having a knife on your pants, having just good survival items accessible on your trousers, on your blouse, your compass, mapping gear, all of that should be in your pockets. So that way, if you do become separated from your pack, your kit, whatever it may be, the situation you find yourself in, you have a fighting chance of surviving, right? So let's get into the helmet. So for the helmet that I'm running, same helmet as always, just a bump helmet from Amazon Special. I have an Amazon NVG mount, a knockoff Wilcox with a knockoff, I'm not sure what it's supposed to knock off of, but it's essentially a mount that turns your PVS 14 into a single 31, I guess. I mean, I'm used to PVS 31s from my time in the Marine Corps. So I wanted a mount that kind of resembled that for my night vision. And I like having my nods down, even during, like, I wear them at all times on my helmet when I'm out and about. So that way I like having it down and not up, because when it's up, more snag hazards and you're more liable to snag on a branch, whatever, and lose your night vision. So on the night vision, I have retention on top of the Kevlar, or on top of the helmet, not a Kevlar, excuse me. Then on the rear, I have a strobe and a little, I guess, battery pack. And I obviously don't have a cable for it to connect to my night vision, but I do carry my spare batteries in there for my night vision, so they're all co-located on my helmet. It's a PVS 14. I don't need a counterweight or anything. It's not that ridiculously heavy. If you have the chin strap on your helmet, you're gonna be good. Next purchase for this is gonna be some sort of ear pro. I used to have Peltors that I used all the time, but they weren't mine. That was property in the Marine Corps. So when I got out, I had to return those. So instead, right now, I just use earplugs, or if I'm not running a helmet, I use some Walker razors, which they're not bad. So anyway, moving on from the helmet setup, which is very basic, and moving on to the chest rig setup, which all of my previous videos, I ran a lot different of a setup. Compared to this video, a lot has changed. I've bought some new kit. I fielded this I went out last weekend shooting with some buddies. Now I didn't do a lot of patrolling or anything super realistic, just a lot of shooting and drills, and everything was used except for this. I just got this recently, this hand warmer, but rig performed exactly as I desired. Spiritus Systems is where it's at. They are amazing gear. It's my favorite gear company, and it's pretty much the only gear you'll see me wearing. I'm working on another chest rig setup, by the way. And that's going to go onto the Thing 3 chassis in the video that I made previously, and that's going to be more of a big rig, not with a ruck, more with an assault pack, and it's going to be more of a one day type deal setup. So 24 hours. Anyway, chest rig, let's get into it. So the base is the Spiritus Mark IV placard. I have the Axle high top zipper insert in the front, and then obviously 3, 5, 5, 6 inserts in the rear. Well, it's just a triple. I wouldn't say 3 because it is 3, but it's not single ones. It's just the actual pouch. And then directly behind that, I have my North American Rescue shears. And then inside the Axle little zipper insert, I have my note-taking gear and pencil dummy corded to it. More spare batteries, mostly for my laser and my scout light. And then I have a range card, laminated. I have a ranging card, the Shobik Security little dealio. It's pretty cool. I use it a lot when I go out and just do long distance shooting with my rifle. It helps out a lot with calculations and determining how far a target is at an unknown distance. And then I just have a piece of grid paper that is laminated that I keep folded up. This is nice because if I don't want to write my note-taking gear, something that I need to keep track of that will change, I can write that on there and then I can just erase it. And for that, I have 2 grease pencils, red and black, that I keep wrapped up, and those go in there as well. And back onto the grid paper, it's nice because if I have other guys with me, I can keep track of them, their gear, whatever it may be. If I'm in a leadership role, and I can keep track of just so many different things. I can even use this for sector sketches or for casualty information, anything. Very nice. Having grid paper laminated on your kit is a must. Now, that's what I have in the little front pouch. On the rear, like I said, 3 magazines, shears, and then on the front, underneath, I have shot corded a tourniquet. So that's 1 tourniquet on the rig, and I'll get into where my other tourniquet is later. Then the hand warmer. This is just the Amazon, I believe, PTAC. Their little hand warmer. It's really nice. I wouldn't say it's a knockoff of the Spiritus one, because it's not, because it doesn't have like a little roll-up zipper thing. It's actually its own piece of kit, and it's very nice. And I mean, for 45 bucks, I mean, this is actually fleece lined, and it's very comfortable and nice. And then it has a big, huge front pocket on the front, and that is where I keep my IFAK. So that lives in the front up here, and then I have my hand warmer. Because if you're not tracking when you got a bunch of kit on, and then usually tactical pants like these, very hard to get your hands in your pockets and take them out quickly. But with this, if I'm static, I can keep my hands in this and keep them nice and toasty. I've done Arctic training before, and that was something that I like to do then. I didn't have a hand warmer then, so I had to use my pockets on my pants, but what I would do when we're patrolling, I would carry my rifle and then keep one hand gripping that warm section. And then what I would do is when we got to a static position, I could switch, put this hand in there and let that hand warm up as well. But if not, at least I always had one hand on the rifle, so it's easy to take the hand out and react to contact, right? So that is the hand warmer and the placard. Moving on to the left side, I have the Spiritus, their little radio wings. And in this one, I have a Baofeng UV5R, the whip antenna, and a trucker bike right here. And it's all co-located on my left side, away from my firing side. And I mean, it's a radio, it does what it's supposed to, and I like it. And then on the right side, I keep a little 16-ounce Nalgene. It needs to be spray painted, I know. This is a new piece of kit. I haven't had time to spray paint it yet. Been really busy with the Christmas season and New Year's. By the way, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. But yeah, like little 16-ounce Nalgenes, they're nice. Don't have to figure out how to rig a 32-ounce Nalgene onto my kit because these little pockets fit a 16-ounce very well. They also fit, just hang on there, the Core Performance their little 16-ounce bottle. The reason I don't run this one in the wing opposed to the little Nalgene is, yes, this does curve to your body and it's nice, but I found that when I do have this in here, even when I have the pouch extended as far as it can go, it's either digging into my hip or it's digging into my armpit. And like digging into my side, it's really hard to shoulder my rifle with that right there in that pocket. So I prefer this little smaller one. You know, it's individual preference. I could always switch over radio side, move the antenna more over here so it's not in the way of my shoulder. It's just whatever, shooter preference. You get the idea. So that is the chest rig. Got the wings, nothing else. And it's a very lightweight and small setup. I like it a lot. And like I said, I'm building out another chest rig, and that is going to be the bigger rig. This is still kind of a big rig, but this is a relatively smaller rig opposed to what I'm building up. It's gonna be a lot similar, but it's gonna be on a Thing 3, so it's gonna have more GP storage and probably most likely the same round count, 16-ounce Nalgene radio, just bigger storage to carry more items. So moving on to the pack. Let's see if I can break this up for you guys. So this is the Six Moon Designs, their 30-liter runner pack. I just got this recently actually, and so far I like it. It's very comfortable. I mean, it's an ultralight bag, designed for like ultralight backpacking and hiking. But I thought to myself, this would work for a civilian prepared type scenario. And I mean, it's a pretty good pack. So on the outside, I have my isomat, obviously, because like I said, this is a 24 to 48 hour setup. I want to have something that I can lay down on and keep my body warm. On either side, I have a liter of water. So for this video, I'm just showing you different methods of carrying water. On this side, I have a 32-ounce Nalgene. And on this side, I just have a 1 liter plastic water bottle that's been spray painted. I'm sure you guys have seen this before on the channel. Just, you know, a lighter weight method if you're not really worried about microplastic stuff. But what I always like to say is I'm shooting a gun that's putting lead into my lungs. And I'm in a situation where I could die, you know, realistically. So I don't think the microplastics are that big of a deal. I'd rather save weight, carry, you know, it's a couple ounces difference, have lighter water bottles, because at the end of the day, you know, the water's gonna keep me alive. So do with that what you will. On the top, little compression strap. I keep my poncho just up top, outside, so it's easy to just snag just onto this little buckle. Right there, got my poncho to use as a rain jacket, use as an expedient shelter, whatever that may be situation, you know. And then it's a roll top design, so roll, got some Velcro in there, and then let's get into what I keep inside the pack. So on the very top, just this is just MRE that I have. What I've done is I've taken two different MREs. This one has 5 made meals in it, and this one has just a bunch of MRE like tortillas, snack bread, jelly, peanut butter, cheese, all that. So I have a snack bag and then my main meal bag. So would I always carry MREs for everything? No, I've talked about this before. I would supplement that with other snacks, probably carry some granola bars in my pocket, possibly some dried fruits and nuts in my pocket as well. So that way I have something that I can easily just reach in my pocket, grab it, eat it on the go. But for actual meals themselves, MRE main meals, caloric dense, they are kind of heavy though, but it's better than having to boil water to prepare a meal, you know, create a fire and have to boil water, and that's just a signal. That's just a target indicator is what it is. So if you can avoid making a fire at all costs, do that. And then right under that, I have the little bag with 3 30-round PMags in it, because I only have 3 mags on the chest rig, so I want to have 3 mags in my pack that are close to the top. They're easily accessible. As you can see, this isn't that hard to get into. And that way I can just filter out, replace mags if I need to, so be it. I could also have enough room in here that I can just carry a bag of loose rounds as well in here to refill magazines after I have used them. And then right next to that, I have a solar charger. So this is pretty cool. This opens up, solar, and then on the back side, unzip, and you have an actual, keep my cords in here, and you have an actual plug that you can directly just charge using the sun, which is very cool, especially if you're in a OP or you're bedding down, whatever, and you're moving during the day, or you're staying still during the day and moving at night. Very good. You can charge all your equipment that needs to be charged, and you're good to go. Then, right under that, I have this little DACA pouch, and it just has more batteries and an extra radio battery for my Baofeng. And then directly under that, I have my water purification setup. We'll get into that right now. So I keep it in a little bag, so it's nice and co-located. And in here I have H2Go and the little can of provisions or little brine bottle that they made. I like this one. Obviously it's better than the one that H2Go comes with. And that is my primary method of water purification. And then I also have a quick reference card for the H2Go. Heat of the moment, I'm trying to figure out how to purify water and I don't want to waste time. I've collected my water and now I'm going to purify it. I can just whip this out, read over real quick, I'm good to go. And then for water collection, I have this 6-liter MSR dromedary bag. So it folds up nice and tiny, and then it expands and it holds 6 liters of water. So, and it has a little spigot on the front as well, so you can fold that down and drink directly from it. So my idea with this is, this will not be for my clean water, this is for my dirty water. What I will do is scoop the water directly into here, open that little spigot up, and with that spigot, pour that water into a Nalgene, whatever, and then I have my H2Go, and then I can purify directly in there, and the dirty water stays in here, right? That is the idea with this system. Then I have the little testing strips for the H2Go. And then I don't always carry a CamelBak, but when I do, I also have just a quick CamelBak filter. Just plug right into the CamelBak and just directly purifies water that way as well. And I like that. Don't always carry a CamelBak, like I said, but when I do, it's nice to just have that on hand. Or if a buddy has a CamelBak, I can just loan that to him and let him have clean drinking water. So that is water purification. I have a Sawyer Squeeze and the Sawyer Mini as well that I don't have that on my kit right now, but that is another method that I could carry if I wanted to have a tertiary method, because my secondary method, obviously, you'll see a minute in my pockets, survival tin, I have iodine tablets in there. But moving on, little bag that connects on the inside, and I just keep 100 foot of paracord, lobster tailed, and it just lives in this little tiny bag that can fold up really nice. I don't even take that out, but 100 foot of paracord for making shelter, making whatever I need to use it for. It's good to have. Bivy sack. So, explanation for the bivy sack, right? In the winter months, which it is winter right now, but where I live, it doesn't get too terribly cold, but at night it does get, sometimes it'll stoop below freezing occasionally. So I like to have this bivy sack, keep myself nice and toasty inside of it. But that's not something that I would always carry year round. That's just something that I would carry if I needed to. And like I said, for patrolling and stuff, or maybe I haven't said this yet, but you don't always want to bed down all the time and get all of your gear out, and just getting nice and comfy. Sometimes you just gotta throw on a whoopee top and your whoopee, maybe your poncho, and then sit up against a tree, and that's how you sleep. It depends on the environment you're in. If it's permissive, semi-permissive, it just depends, right? Entirely where you're at and what you're doing. Then, underneath that, I have another little packing cube that has my sleeping bag in it. I believe that sleeping bag can get down to, it's not rated for like below 40 degrees, I don't think. So, but that's why I also carry this in here. This is another packing cube from 6 Moon Designs. And inside I have a dry bag, extra socks, and then I have my Whoopie top. So my Whoopie top with that sleeping bag in the bivy sack underneath my tarp, if I make an A-frame, I'll be pretty toasty. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna survive in like, you know, Arctic conditions, but where I live doesn't have that kind of weather. So I think I will survive with what I have, and I like that because I can have a lighter setup overall, opposed to what a lot of dudes up north have to carry. And then just on the outside of the pack, folding saw. I used to carry a hatchet, and then I got told on a comment that, hey, carry a folding saw instead. It was the same thing, quieter. And took that advice and carry that on me now. I like that opposed to a hatchet for sure. You know, if you're in a permissible environment, you're just camping with the boys, obviously the hatchet's gonna be far superior to a folding saw, or just bring both. But if you're in that non-permissible environment, that folding saw is gonna be a lot quieter and not as loud, and it's not gonna be as much signature being put out for the world to hear and see. So, but yeah, this is a very nice pack. I like it. I think it's pretty cool design. I like the open top. But magazines on the very top, so they're readily accessible when I need them. So that is my pack setup. I like it. I'm going out this weekend for some training, and I'll just test it out. And I'll make an after action video, hopefully, or something later on, and just kind of go over the pack. Oh yeah, one last thing. The sides of the hip belt have some pouches on them. And on the right side, I carry a little boo-boo kit. Or nope, that's the left side, excuse me. Right side, I carry toilet paper and wipes. Obviously, taking 24 to 48 hours, you're gonna go to the bathroom. So that's good to have. And then I keep 4 elements, like liquid IV kind of things, right there for energy, whatever have you. And then on my left side is where I keep boo-boo kit, 25-foot of bank line, and extra can paint. So just quick, nice little pouches to carry, extra little bits and doodads, and then on the straps themselves, they have pockets designed for 16-ounce little soft bags, the little soft squeezable bags you see like runners and like ultralight backpackers and stuff carry. I'm not going to use them, so I kind of just leave them empty so they're not in the way of shouldering my rifle. But if I did use this pack for like backpacking, stuff like that, I definitely would use those for extra water storage, because why not? So that is went over my helmet, my chest rig, and my pack, and go over what I keep in my pockets. So on the right side, my belt, keep my Mora knife just right there, ready to go. Right pocket, multi-tool. Right side, cargo pocket. I have my navigation equipment. I say equipment, more like maps and map pins, as well as a protractor. And it has capabilities to expand, so I could carry like a Garmin in here, or what have you, if I had one, or if I get one later on. Then the front right cargo pocket, keep my compass, and I keep it dummy corded to my belt loops in my pants. So I just have that ready to go in the front. Left side front pocket is what I was mentioning earlier. Got it before, survival tin. Made a video talking about what all I keep inside of it. Lots of goodies, nice little thing to have. And really small, fits into the front pocket on a pair of Cry-style pants perfectly. So out of the way, don't even know it's there, I'm telling you. Left side cargo pocket, signal panel, spare tourniquet, and then some little goo energy chews for that glucose, that sugar. Quick energy spike if you are sleepy. Good to go right there. Or I've seen people mention before, after you expelled a lot of adrenaline, say you got into contact and you successfully broke contact and you're now back at control base, whatever it may be, and all of a sudden your energy, you had so much adrenaline and now you spiked and now you're going down and it dips and now you're super tired, put a couple of those in, chew them up, you'll be good, plenty of energy. Then you can't see it in the video, obviously, maybe if I stand on the center block, maybe. Same old boots, my Vans boots. I've had them for over a year now. They're awesome, I love them. They're super comfortable. They still hold their water resistance. And then on top of that, I just carry my boot gaiters that you've all seen before a billion times. And I always wear the boot gaiters, even in the summer months. Keeps bugs out, keeps sand out, water. I mean, not if you're doing a river crossing, you're gonna get soaked. I've done that with these before, and I still got soaked, but it kept my socks dry, surprisingly. So my feet stayed dry, but they did get soaked. My pants were soaked, and the outside of my boots were soaked. But the part where the gaiters were covering my boots was dry. And I could just reapply more waterproofing stuff to them, and that would fix that as well. For the video, I did not wear a blouse or a top or anything. I just had a t-shirt on, because I don't keep anything in my blouse aside from maybe like cane paint and signal mirror in my shoulder pocket, and that's the extent of what I would carry in the blouse. That's why I didn't even feel like putting it on. And then for gloves, carabinered onto the little clip piece. This pair of Oakley, like lightweight gloves. I had those for a long time. I like them, they're comfortable, and they do what gloves are supposed to do. Protect your hands and keep them from getting hurt. But yeah guys, so this was a longer content video. I like doing kit setup videos for you guys. Just as kind of like ideas for all of you. Even possibly, you know, like you are like wondering like, oh, maybe I gotta look up some different stuff. I'm trying to get some new kit for my setup. And you come across this video and you find something that you liked. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'll check that out. So I appreciate you guys watching, and thank you guys for everything. And I hope you have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. Bangalore Productions signing off.